The 5 top secrets to maintaining a happy marriage. No one said marriage was easy, but there are definitely ways to make it work better. Whether you're having trouble communicating with your spouse or you're just looking for ways to improve your relationship, these 5 secrets will help you maintain a happy marriage. From learning how to fight fair to making time for each other, these tips will help you keep the love alive in your relationship. So if you want to know the secrets to a happy marriage, continue watching. Before we begin, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel because we upload new videos every day. Let's begin. Number 1. Communication is key. In any relationship, communication is key. This is especially true in marriage. In order to maintain a happy marriage, you and your spouse need to be able to communicate effectively with one another. There will be times when you disagree with one another. That's normal. What's important is that you are able to talk through your disagreements in a respectful way. If you're able to do that, you'll be able to work through anything that comes up. It's also important to keep the lines of communication open, even when things are going well. Just because you're not having any problems at the moment doesn't mean that you shouldn't still be talking to one another. Keep those lines of communication open, and you'll be able to prevent problems before they start. If you want to maintain a happy marriage, communication is essential. By ensuring that you and your spouse can communicate effectively, you can work through anything that comes up and keep your relationship strong. Number 2. Don't take each other for granted. Well, if you're watching this and you're in a happy marriage, congratulations. You've accomplished something that many people never do. But just because you're married doesn't mean that your work is done. In order to maintain a happy marriage, it's important to avoid taking your spouse for granted. Here are some things you can do to make sure you don't take your spouse for granted. 1. Compliment them often. 2. Show your appreciation for what they do. 3. Do thoughtful things for them just because. 4. Make time for quality conversation. 5. Seek out shared interests and activities. By following these tips, you can make sure that you don't take your spouse for granted and that your marriage remains a happy one. Number 3. Be willing to compromise. In any relationship, it's important to be willing to compromise. In a marriage, this is especially true. You and your spouse will inevitably have different opinions on certain things, and it's important to be able to meet in the middle. If you're always unwilling to compromise, it'll eventually lead to tension and conflict. Of course, that doesn't mean you should always give in to your spouse's demands. If you're not comfortable with something, speak up and let them know. But be willing to listen to their perspective and consider their point of view. You can find a solution that works for both of you with a little give and take. Number 4. Make time for each other. It could be easy to let your relationship take a backseat to work, kids, and other obligations. But if you want to maintain a happy marriage, it's important to make time for each other. Date nights, weekend getaways, and even regular conversations are crucial for keeping the spark alive. It can be tough to find a time when you're both busy with work and family obligations, but it's important to make an effort. Schedule date nights or weekend getaways whenever possible, and try to have regular conversations about your relationship. These check-ins will help keep you both on the same page and prevent any problems from festering. Making time for each other is one of the most important things you can do for your marriage. So put away the phones, turn off the TV, and take some time for just the two of you. You'll be glad you did. Number 5. Keep the romance alive. It is no secret that marriages can be tough. The key to a happy marriage is communication, compromise, and commitment. Here are some tips to keep the romance alive. 1. Talk to each other. It is important to communicate your needs and wants with your spouse. Be sure to listen to them as well. 2. Make time for each other. In today's busy world, finding time for your spouse can be difficult. However, it is important to make time for date nights, weekend getaways, or quality time together at home. 3. Be spontaneous. Do something unexpected for your spouse every once in a while. This can be something as simple as cooking their favorite meal or getting them a small gift. 4. Say "I love you" often. A simple "I love you" can go a long way. Don't forget to show your love through actions as well. 5. Resolve conflict in a healthy way. All couples argue from time to time, but it is important to resolve conflict in a healthy way. This means avoiding yelling and name-calling and instead talking things out calmly until you come to a resolution. Maintaining a happy marriage is not always easy, but it is definitely worth the effort. By following these 5 simple tips, you and your spouse can enjoy a more fulfilling and lasting relationship. Remember to communicate openly, show appreciation for one another, make time for each other, work together as a team, and never stop learning about one another. You can keep your marriage strong for years to come with love and commitment. Thank you for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, and clicking the bell icon.